Good morning. Good almost afternoon. It's 11:32 here in Ohio. So this video is going to be for my ladies who are ready to start showing up more powerfully in their content and show their face on live video or reels or Instagram stories or wherever you want to show up, where you know in your soul that you're hiding. This is for you. This is some top lessons I've learned doing and teaching live video, or teaching how to show up on video, be it live or not, for the last 5 years that I've been doing them. So I've done like hundreds of live videos. I've done hundreds of other videos. I've done thousands of Instagram stories. That was like my favorite place to be. It still is. And I've taught women how to do it. And so I want to tell you these 6 lessons because I think it's going to help you. And first, I just want to update something here because I'm going to be putting in a link in the comments for a free, I'm doing a free masterclass, camera and keyboard masterclass next Wednesday. So if anybody wants to sign up for that, and then I'm going to be going deeper on my email list. So I just wanted to update a link. Okay, I'm going to be reading off of a Google Doc because this came to me in a plane when I was flying to Florida last week, which was, oh my God, so good. It's 4 degrees here. 4 degrees here. If I could show you outside, I would. Snow mounds. I love the snow in the holidays, and then I'm ready for it to be over. So we went to Florida. We got to get sun on the beach in a bathing suit, and it was warm, and I got to visit with my family and my grandma, which I haven't seen in forever, and my brother who lives in Texas. And it was so nice. And the ride there, I just channeled all this content. So I am going to write it out. I did write it out, and I'm going to read it off of there. So if you are ready to find that confidence, and you know that your business is like asking you to step up and to be seen, these things might help you. So I wrote top 6 lessons from 5 years of doing live videos and vulnerable content. Lesson number 1, heart-brain coherence is key. When I stay consumed by my thoughts and I don't drop into my body right before I go live, I'm way more likely to feel like I didn't actually connect in a way that feels authentic and invigorating. And I'm going to dive into these just a little bit more than in the text. So heart-brain coherence is something that I learned from this guy, Greg Braden, who is associated with Joe Dispenza. A lot of you guys know him, and associated with Dr. Bruce Lipton, who works with epigenetics. And it's this moment, it's this integration of our mind and our heart and our soul. And heart-brain coherence is just what they call it. It's because it's the heart and the brain working together. This is strange, huh? It's the heart and the brain working together. And this makes all the difference, because when we get on and we're not dropped into our heart, when I'm not dropped into my heart, I don't feel like I'm connecting. I feel like I'm speaking from survival. I feel like I'm speaking because I want to get clients. I feel like I'm speaking because I feel like I have to. Like when I'm not dropped in, and when my mind isn't integrated with that heart and that coherence, I do not show up my best, and my clients do not show up their best. And so you can search an easy heart-brain coherence meditation, but legitimately, it's simply taking 3 minutes. This is scientifically measured. It takes 3 minutes of doing heart-brain coherence to make a difference for 6 hours in your day. And when you do this before you create content and go live and do videos and do your thing, you show up so much more powerfully. And it's sitting down, putting a hand on your heart to feel the space and awareness around your heart, and then just feeling gratitude, love, connection, community, these kinds of things for 3 short minutes. Sometimes I just take a few breaths and do it. And that can make all the difference. So that's my number 1 lesson out of the 6 lessons that I learned of doing live videos for 5 years, is heart-brain coherence is key. Dropping in. Hand on heart, take a breath. If you have 3 minutes, do 3 minutes. You're going to notice it changes, and you're going to be able to do it quicker. Number 2, Light matters most of the time. Most of the time. So I live by the 80-20 rule that most of the time I make lighting a priority because I know it supports connection, because you can see me, right? You can really see me. You can see the nuances. You can see, you're like connecting with my background. My face isn't all weird shadow. Like, light matters in connection. Light matters gaining trust. And it matters most of the time, like 80% of the time. And I noticed that other 20% of the time, like I wrote in here, but if I'm finding that bad lighting is an excuse to not show up, I'll use that as an opportunity to affirm that I do not have to be perfect to be heard or successful. If my lighting sucks 20% of the time, I'm okay with that. And so if you're using lighting, bad lighting, not great lighting as an excuse not to show up, you get to show up anyways. And lighting is a priority, and you are worth making your videos look good, because I know somewhere deep down there's a story that if you're feeling really inspired and you're sitting on the couch and you're like, okay, I'm gonna record an Instagram story, but then you open up Instagram stories and the light looks like blah. There's a little story inside of you thinking that you're not worth, and your message is not worth getting up and either turning the light on or going in front of a window or putting the phone on the ring light. And then you're making the excuse the lighting isn't good enough. And so I want to really call you forward, and that the lighting gets to be priority, and it makes a hella difference. And if it sucks 20% of the time, that gets to affirm that you don't have to be perfect, right? So that's my number 2. Number 3, the cool tech stuff is not needed. I see needing more things as an excuse not to show up, just like the lighting. I've had many 4 and 5 figure months using my cell phone and my computer. My cell phone camera, what I'm on right now, looks great. And my computer camera, which really isn't that great. I just got a webcam, okay? With nothing extra. So I wrote in here, a high-value coach does the best she can with what she has. It's not the pretty microphone that gives you value. Hear me. It's not the pretty microphone that gives you value. It's the depth of heart-centered leadership you're spitting into it. This microphone, I'm actually going to paint it. I only use this for podcasts, really. I rarely use it for online just because I got to have a microphone to podcast. And it's kind of junky and old. But I use it because we use what we can. We use the best of what we can while we have it. Okay. So I have 3 more. That was number 3. I want to put in here, if you are ready to show up on the camera and the keyboard, I'm doing a free masterclass next Wednesday called Camera and Keyboard. And I'm really excited just to support you in eliminating that fear of visibility and really diving into what's behind the fears and teaching you and giving you the tool belt to move through them so you can really show up as a powerful leader behind your powerful business and start giving your business personality. Number 4, there's a predictable pattern that when you know is there, so there's a predictable pattern of showing up on video, even in content, but this one's mostly for video. There's a predictable pattern that when you know it's there, quiets the fear. And this pattern is, move through a little bit of fear, you go live. After you go live, there's like a bit of like awkward stumble. I had it. Go back and you're going to see the awkward stumble. There's a bit of awkward stumble right after you go live as you're like dropping into the element. After that awkward stumble, which is not very long, because that's what everybody's scared of. But once we move through it, it's not very long. Then you drop into flow state and you start spitting the gold and you say what you want and you say more than you think is there. And you start to feel like you're actually expressing what you fear you couldn't, right? You drop into that flow state and you really start getting into the good of why you even went on the video in the first place. And after you drop into that flow state, the next predictable pattern is you stay there until either the time is up or you feel energetically finished. So there's a predictable pattern showing up on video, and when you know it, it'll quiet the fear. What up, Stacy? You looked beautiful in your story with your crimped hair or whatever. That was really nice. Okay, number 5 of the 6 things I learned doing live video and vulnerable content for the last 5 years is nothing. So this is related to number 4 of that predictable pattern. And part of that predictable pattern is dropping into flow state, right? That's a predictable pattern. Like 100% of my videos are like that. And I've done hundreds in Instagram stories. I've done thousands, right? There's always a moment where we drop into flow state. And when you have the courage to rewatch your own videos, this is number 5. Nothing reflects our mastery back to us better than watching or listening to ourselves in flow state. So this could also go if you have a podcast, stuff like that. Nothing reflects our mastery back to us better than watching or listening to ourselves in flow state. I've said to myself more than once as I'm listening, because like after I get off, I'm like, I don't really know what I said. I'm not like, it felt really good coming out, but I'm not really sure that people are going to get it, that it's going to make sense. And then I go and I listen back and I rewatch a lot of my videos because it's important to me to have good delivery. And so I've learned that way. I go back and I've said more than once, I'm a motherfucking genius. Like, who is that girl spitting gold over here? I'm a motherfucking genius. And then my value is reflected back to me. And with my clients, and I've helped so many women learn to love lives and stories and content and all the things, they'll do the same thing. Is they're going to be like, I don't really know if that was good. But, I'll leave it up and I will support them in listening back to it, and they love it. And it's always better than they expect. And so that's a really beautiful way to like amp up your self-confidence. Okay, number 6, lastly. This is really important. As there's been 3 people on this live, okay? It doesn't matter how many people join your live. Most of my views come on replays. But even the videos that get barely any replay support support my position as a leader, and either 1, give me fantastic feedback and how I can do better, or 2, go in my book of evidence that I'm always showing up for what I say I want. Because our content stacks. And so release any pressure and stress around not getting views, because although there's only 3 people on this live right now, my replays get hundreds. And the more consistent we are in live video, the more views and the more replays, right? So I also haven't made a live video in a really long time. I'm not making that mean anything about me. As I'm getting more practice, as I'm getting more embodied in the message that I teach. And so forget how many people are watching your live. That does not determine your worth. That does not determine the value that you're sharing. That does not determine the value of your message. That doesn't determine anything. And you get a lot of views on replay. So use this as an opportunity. Like, keep your replays. Don't delete them. And then you can even extract those replays and make your little shorty contents out of them. There's so much gold. But speaking live, even if there's only 2 or 3 people, even if there's no people, speaking live to that and speaking live to that camera is way different and much more of a work of embodiment and self-mastery is like doing pre-recorded video. They're 2 very different beasts. They both have their own challenges in my experience. So just remember that it doesn't matter how many people join your live. Keep the replay up and you're going to be getting watches and watches. And once your content stacks enough to where your community just grows and grows and grows, years later, people will be going back to those videos. So, all right, that was 6 of my top lessons. I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 6 more lessons that I'm going to be putting out to my email list. And so if you want to dive deeper on this and get a little a lot of it more value. I'm going to put a link in the comments where you can join the email list. You'll actually get a free heart cave meditation if you hadn't gotten it yet. If you're on the email list already, I know I got some new people, then you will just get this email. You don't have to worry about it. I also want to invite you, which is going to be in the same link. I want to invite you to my camera and keyboard masterclass that's happening next Wednesday at noon, like a week from today at noon. And so that's going to support you in eliminating your fear of vulnerability on the camera and showing up as a high value coach or healer and all of the things that come with that and the emotional mastery behind that. And you're going to get the tool belt and you're going to get the perspectives and you're going to get so much to support you in showing up, right? Being seen, because that's what we want. The thing we fear is the thing we want. We don't want to get on video because we're scared people are going to see us. But we want to get on video because all we want is to be seen and heard. So how can we alchemize those two things, right? You're going to learn all of this on the masterclass. Plus, there's going to be like, you get the experience to be with me and get focused attention from me to your questions and get that group, that collective group context to where you're going to be hearing other people's questions. And that's going to support your own healing and your own process. So subscribe to that. That's no cost. The link is right here. Right here. Share. You can find both. What the fuck? You can find both. I'm going to do it from my phone. You can find both. The masterclass subscription or registration is the first button. And then if you want to be part of the email and get the free heart cave meditation, that's the second button. That meditation is a heart expander. So if you've been feeling like your heart is closed and you're not really taking in life, it's a really good, it's 12 minutes and 12 seconds. It's a beautiful gratitude meditation to really show you how far you've come. I'm getting really good feedback from that. So if you do the meditation, please let me know your experience. And I hope to see you in the masterclass. Thank you for watching. And just, even if you're not coming to anything, like utilize these examples to support you in showing up on live video, because I promise you, once you do it, like once you do it, you're going to see that it's worth it. And please, please, please rewatch it if you do it. And that's going to be Instagram stories, reels, like anything. Just show up on video and you're going to see that there's a lot of value for you and your community there. Okay, I'm going to go because I have things to do.